action. This week on
Nursing 101?
Yeah, something. We're going to talk about nursing.
We haven't talked about it in a while, so we just kind of decided that we need to update anybody that is interested in nursing school.
We seem to get a lot more hits of people like, oh, questions about nursing school. They're applying to nursing school and they're hoping to find someone. We offer little to no wisdom. If you have questions, like we are, like we said in our first video, we have a combined of, 30 years in EMS, I think, to all put together, both of us?
I think so.
So we've seen a little bit, but we're still learning stuff in nursing, and obviously we don't know.
It gives you a different perspective, too, especially knowledge is fucking power. So if you are in nursing school and you're doing this job as well, you feel useless at this job. Like, that's how I feel. Because, like, I feel like I have so much knowledge, but I can't do anything.
Can't apply it.
Because I'm limited. Like, basically, I drive. That's it.
You're a good driver.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. So we thought, what can we talk about this week? We made a little video that maybe we'll upload them at the same time. We were talking about injuries on the job, and that led to us talking shit about something else. But I thought, you know what? I had some interesting experiences on my clinical rotation. For those of you that don't know, when you go to nursing school, didactic, or what is it called? Classroom? Lecture. Theory and clinical. Theory, you sit there and listen to them, tell them stuff, make sure. And I'm starting to notice as the years go, the year goes, this semester, that it has become more of, this is what you should be studying, not actually teach us anything. Like, it's like, read this shit in your book. We're not going to really talk about it in class.
Nah.
Yeah, it's more about, like, they want to make sure you're reading your stuff. Like, you're going to learn this stuff in the book. Just read the goddamn book. And then, obviously, clinical, where you try to apply whatever you're learning into what's going on. And I guess I'll start this week. I was on a couple different floors. And when I first went in, our local, because of the Zika, whatever, or herpes that's going around, flu season's really bad. It's killing people. It's knocking people off like you wouldn't believe. Getting a little chilly.
And it's knocking people on their asses, not for just like a week. It's like 2 weeks.
Lingers.
It's a lingers. And then you think you're getting better, and it comes back.
And it's like herpes.
And you know what? I think the flu shot really did help it.
I did.
Lessen the freaking symptoms.
I felt crappy for a couple of days, and I'm starting to perk up a little bit. But it could be just because I'm here with my dog. And but no, so they're really shorthanded, our local hospital, so much so that I heard this out, and I've just been piping it all the time. It's like they're paying
double time and
a half. Comes out to about $1,200 for some people a day.
A day.
I'm like, dude, I would sell ass on the corner, man. Like, I would have my trap full. What do you call it? So I show up, and there was, I think, 2 other people from my clique on our floor, and I was like, and what happens is you go in the day before, you pick your patients, collect some, do some research, look up their drugs, and the next day you don't know who you're going to get for a nurse. It's very random, and a lot of nurses, thankfully, have been pretty receptive, have been cool, like, even if you could tell that they're just like busy and they don't want to deal with your shit, they've been pretty cool. As long as you put yourself out there, be like, what can I do to make your job easier? And as I'm trying to help you, I'm sure you'll, drop some crumbs of knowledge, pearls of wisdom down my way. And usually that's how it works out. And you're always going to get told. We were told from our first semester instructor, one of the sweetest, most wonderful nurses that we've ever, at least I've ever met, and I think she would agree.
First semester?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, we've had good teachers, but to single this person out, she was wonderful. And she said, nurses eat their young. Like, nurses tend to shit downhill, and they crap all over you, and they will treat you like shit, and they will abuse you and do all this stuff. And you can look this up, like, nurses do eat, that's a famous quote, nurses eat their young. They're very abusive towards the students. And I guess they've been trying to, and there's a couple people, if you roll with at that hospital, all the nurses leave you alone. But I hadn't really had any problems everywhere I've gone. And we'd seen a couple people act a little assholey, but it was very limited. So I'm there, and they make the announcement they were so short-handed, there are people coming in on their day off, and there are people, come to find out, that had showed up to work to help out, and were taken from their normal floor to a different area, and it seemed to have pissed people off, and I didn't know this yet, but so it started out, I go, and when you show up, and you're just like, okay, listen to the turnover report from the night nurse to the day nurse, and pick up any information, try to find out, then get on there, get some vital signs, get the blood sugars, do what you can, blah, blah, blah. So I go over and I'm trying to figure out who the nurses are for my rooms, and I end up walking up to 2 of them, and I'm like, hey, do you have this patient? They're like, yeah, but we already give a report. And just really shitty attitude about it. Like, all right, thanks, hope the cold sores come back, you Sal. And, all right, whatever. Come to find out, like, I was just kind of milling around. Not 5 minutes later on, this other nurse shows up, and they turn over patient her, and I'm like, what a dick move. Like, they didn't give report. They were just, like, told me something to just say fuck off, like.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what a dick move. That is just a total dick move. And I'm like, all right. And I still sat there.
Okay, then fuck you, get your own goddamn vitals.
And they were just kind of like, and you could tell there was a little smirky attitude. Like, I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty good at catching when people are bullshitting me. And I was just like, what an asshole. And you could tell they did it on purpose afterwards because they were just kind of looking my way and, like being smug about it. And, I was just kind of like, put off about that. All right, fuck you. And then another one was just giving me shit.
Getting heated thinking about it.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, man, that's so crazy. And then come to find out, they explained to me, like, oh, those nurses, they were like, they got transferred, so they're pissed off. I'm like, yeah, but there's no reason to be a dick to me. I did nothing to you. And then later on, something had happened, and I was trying to help. I didn't do anything wrong, but I was just like, I picked up the phone to call the nurses. I couldn't find her. And she pops up behind me and lectures me about using the wrong phone. And just is like, and just kept not letting it go about this goddamn phone. And, like, I look at it and it says, it's for, I don't know what. I don't know. It's a bat phone, I guess. There's Commissioner Gordon's on the other side. But I was just
did you light the signal?
I was just like, holy shit, man. Don't fucking hit the signal. Like, I don't want to cause a problem. Batman might be having a sandwich. I don't fuck that up. But it was like, she just kept going on it. I'm like, okay, I fucking get it, dude. Like, won't do it again, I promise you. Like, you just have to tell me once, okay? It's cool. It's not like I'm sitting here arguing with you. And then, like, I tell her what's going on. Like, I don't want to say what happened because I don't. Somehow, if this were to come back to me, I'm not going to want to cause any problems. But she basically kept trying to get me to admit that I was the one that caused this issue, that made this problem. I said, no, I'm telling you because it's your patient and I don't want you to get into trouble. I don't know what happened. I figured I'd tell you and not just fix it myself, because I don't know shit. And just, like, 4 times tried to fucking get me to admit that I had done it. I'm like, look, why would I fucking tell you about it if I had done it? Like, I would have just fixed it and then fuck this.
Not even hide it, just.
And it wasn't no big deal. It was like, it was kind of like, hey, that's not right. Like, if that could have caused a serious problem for a lot of people, but it was like one of those things.
If the right person walked in.
The right person or the wrong person come to say, that. And it was just such a trip, man. I was just like, are you fucking kidding? And I just, like, literally was like, I'm done. Like, if my teacher can yell at me, I'll just be like, hey, man, like, that chick did not want me to fucking around. And then so, the next day, I went to a different department and stuff, and it happened to be that the floor where fucking a couple of the nurses were, that had been giving me shit in the morning, they were there. And I was just like, holy crap. And you could see them start looking at each other and talk shit.
No.
And just like, no, they were just like, oh, that's that fucking guy that we fucking, like, we're shitting on. Like, you're fucking talking shit, man. Like, I'm just like, oh my God, and it's so different in the field.
The only time that it didn't work being a male.
First. And it's like, and I was just like, what the fuck did I do, man? Did I fuck somebody's cousin? And like,
you had to.
It's coming back. Like, I was just like so fucking tripped out because you have to understand, like, people talk shit in EMS. In this field, people talk trash, and it's like, all right, whatever, don't care. But there's a point where it doesn't go too far because you're afraid somebody's gonna come and knock your ass out. Like, because there'll be a fight. There's like. There used to be a couple of nurses in the ED that would run their mouths and talk shit, and I called out one of them, and they asked me, like, are you threatening me? And I was like, no, I'm just saying, do you want to go outside and talk about it? Like, like, I could tell they were trying to set me up to admit something so they can file a complaint, but I was like, hey, dude, in our world, you get your ass fucking handed to you if you run your fucking mouth, And it just tripped me out, because I'm just like, wow, man, like, that was the really first time that I ever saw somebody shit. Just like had somebody just shit on me, like actively shitting.
You're like, I do all the shitting.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap, man.
We're used to this recepting.
I was just tripping out because I'm like, because I went in there and I busted my ass and was just like, hey, dude, like, I'm an old man. Like, I'll tell you, I'm a little bug. I get a little long in the tooth to be doing this kind of shit. And I'll bust my ass. Like, you tell me to go look for something, I'll get you a salt shaker if you ask me to. I don't care. Like,
yeah, that's what you need. I'll do it.
Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm like, what do you need? You tell me what you want, and I'll deliver. But it was such a trip. It just tripped me out that, like, they were just... and it's like one thing if you had a bad day and I showed up and you're just like, oh, fuck that dude. And then the next day to be talking shit and almost bragging. I guess that would be the best, like, bragging that you were like, that's that guy we fucking shit on upstairs, you know? And it was like...
It's very childlike, it sounds
Yeah, like. And it's almost like, hey, let me talk to your husband because I'm going to kick his ass and tell him you caused it. But anyway, so I guess my video took up too much time. We'll come back. We'll do a second one. Because I want to hear.
It was nothing.
It was great, and it was good to see her happy. So we'll come back. Thank you for listening. Hit like and subscribe, and
the lighting's like this because we like it.
We're stealthy. We like to be a little. We like to mix it up. We've got military. To us the light's a little yellow, but there's no like. Maybe we'll do this. It'll change.
Is it because we're Coldplay?
It's all yellow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you guys. Hit like and subscribe. I can't say that. Like and subscribe. Thank you.